All right. Welcome everybody to the Greater Entrepreneur Success Group. So happy that you've joined us this morning. Um, it's kind of cloudy out here in the ATL. I know Sam says kind of snow where he's at, so it's good. At least we're in the land of the living. So what we're gonna do is this, because I'm in a good mood this morning. Normally I give everybody 5 seconds to talk. I'm in a good mood. I'm gonna do 8 seconds. And you go last, Sam. So I'm just picking just random whoever you are. I'm gonna start with Ken.
Hey everybody, Ken Fainer, the social glue, social media marketing and email marketing that sticks. Did I get in 8 seconds?
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Sybil.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sybil Stillwell. I'm a partner with the Wealth Pack, and I help people change generational curses into generational wealth.
Perfect. I like that. Thank you. Dexter.
Wow.
Can you hear me, Dexter? You're on mute, Dexter. Okay.
I'm sorry. Dexter Johnigan, Phoenix Mortgage Specialist. I'm a mortgage broker, do residential mortgages.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Brenda.
Hey, I'm Brenda Landers with High Priority Plumbing and Sybil. I mean, we do septic and plumbing, but I mean, I totally got to change up my elevator speech and throw in, you don't want to be cursed. You want to be, I don't know. We need to talk later, and because you got me with that elevator speech. Good job.
Excellent. Excellent. Kim.
Good morning, everybody. Kim Hudson, Gray Deluxe Body Bars. I make all natural moisturizers for your skin.
Perfect. Insurance lady Stevie.
What would happen if you stopped working for your employer and now have no health insurance? Ask me how I can help. That's how I'm able to give you a peace of mind. Stevie, I want to be your insurance lady.
All right. Thank you, Stevie.
My
Twana.
pleasure.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tawana, president of Icebreakers Unlimited. We eliminate the first 3 steps of your sales process, which is prospect, qualify, and build rapport, so you can do what you enjoy, present, negotiate, and close. Everybody needs an icebreaker. Give us a call.
Thank you. And last, well, definitely not last, but the one who introduces herself, Sonia Boatwright.
Thank you, Dr. Gray. Good morning, everyone. Sonia Boatwright. I help individuals who feel that health insurance is far too expensive, or those that simply think they can't afford it. Sonia Boatwright with US Health Advisors.
Thank you, Sonia. And everybody knows me, Sinclair. I am your business trainer and success coach to help you take your business to the next level. Well, I'm happy to introduce Sam. I met Sam. This is my first time seeing Sam. But we've talked on the phone. So I met Sam through Brenda Landers. Brenda, apparently either you've worked together or somehow they had a relationship. So Brenda emailed me and said, "Hey, Doc, you need to talk to Sam." And she made the introduction. So everybody who knows me, I'm quick with it, so I wanted to reach out to Sam. So thank you so much, Sam, for agreeing. What I'm going to do, Sam, before I introduce you, I see we have Cynthia on. So Cynthia, you got 8 seconds. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. Cynthia Callister. I own the company Quality SAP. We do website development, mobile app development, and free marketing on KeySpot app. So www.keyspot.app.com, register your business.
Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, going back to Sam, like I said, I met Sam. Sam does quite a bit, websites, digital advertising. So we kind of was chewing the fat to find out what was a good topic. So we came up with the topic of digital advertising. Are you doing the right thing? So Sam, the floor is yours. The share screen is on. You got about 20 minutes, however you want to do it. You can make it interactive, however. And I would just ask everyone if you could just mute yourself while he's doing his thing. It's on you, Sam.
All right, great. I appreciate it. Very, very nice to meet everybody. Let me see if I can share my screen here. I think I know how to do this. All right. So I guess I'll just dive right into it. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. Okay, great. So my name is Sam Palaio. I'm the owner of Schwigo Media. We work exclusively with small businesses to help them with their advertising and mainly digital advertising needs, based on the way the world is going today. Little bit about myself. I grew up in the Philadelphia area. I have a mom, dad, and sister. Big family guy. I come from a big Italian family where this pandemic is nothing new to us. We're used to being together all the time anyway. I enjoy playing golf with my dad. I'm actually trying to learn how to play the saxophone right now, and I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, so don't hold it against me. I really like working with our small business clients, helping them kind of navigate, the digital world. We work with a lot of clients that aren't so familiar, with the digital space. And I know there are two other people on this call. I think Cynthia and can't remember the other guy's name. Hold on a second, I'll get it. Cynthia and Ken, who I think are also kind of involved in this space in a little bit of a different way. We're not big on designing websites and all that sort of stuff, but we do help our clients that do have websites kind of try to go to the next level. So this is my team. We're a small team of 5 people total, including myself. I'll kind of just dive right into what our business is about, and hopefully maybe I can give you some value and some things that you might be able to do with your business. Everywhere we go nowadays, I'm sure that this picture is very familiar. People seem to be glued to the phone. It's a completely different world. We found that the pandemic is speeding up, this whole digital world. Kevin O'Leary from the famous show Shark Tank is talking about how the pandemic is, he's calling it the great digital pivot. He's saying that it's forcing everybody to buy things online and go online. And really what, was going to happen maybe in a 5-year time period is being, advanced and sped up and crammed into a 2-year period. And we're seeing kind of this, evolution of business. I think that Zoom meetings like this are becoming very regular and commonplace. And, whereas a year plus ago, I think people preferred to maybe meet in person. So I think that it's becoming a lot more, commonplace to do things digitally. And, my company tries to help small businesses sort of take advantage of this paradigm shift. Wayne Gretzky, the famous hockey player, used to say it best, that he wasn't so good because he was a great hockey player, but he was good because he skated where the puck was going to be, not where it was. And I think that's a question, no matter what the topic is, whether it's digital advertising or really anything in business. I think that's a question that we should all be asking ourselves. I think each business is a little different in terms of what changes are coming on the horizon. But the one thing that's constant is change will happen. And if you can be one that's planning for that change and skating in the direction of where your industry is going, you'll be in that much better position in the future. When things do change and you're not necessarily playing catch up. Like maybe some of your competitors might be who aren't thinking that way. So that's kind of the question that we're always asking ourselves is, where are things going and what can we do today to prepare ourselves, for when they come. So how does it work? So today, Dr. Gray asked me to discuss some of the digital advertising things that we do for our clients. I like to sort of just paint a broad landscape. We're doing a lot of work right now with Google ads for a lot of our clients. So I'd like to maybe just talk about that. But this really, the concepts that I'll talk about really apply to other platforms, advertising platforms and mediums as well. Whether it's, you're buying an ad on Facebook to promote your business, or on Instagram, or on LinkedIn, or even traditional print ads. I think that these concepts and philosophies kind of apply across the board. Because we're talking about Google, I'd like to kind of just paint the broad landscape. I know that a lot of you probably already know this, so I apologize if I'm being a little redundant. But I'd like to kind of just show you how the ads sort of fit in. So if we look at an actual Google page here, and I'm sure that a lot of you are probably familiar with this. There's a couple different sections when you when you Google when you need a plumber near you, and I'm using that for you, Brenda. When you're looking for a plumber because your toilet broke and you're searching for a good plumber near you because you don't have one that you know, there's a couple things that pop up on the Google screen. The first things that you see have ad next to them, and these are the paid ads. They call them Google ads. They used to be known as Google AdWords. These positions here and these advertisements that you see here, companies are paying to be in that position. That's what we'll discuss in today's presentation. There's a little local map a lot of times with local services businesses that kind of pops up here. So if you are a plumber or you're an electrician or you're a handyman, or even if you have a marketing business like me or an advertising business like me, there is one of these little local maps, and Google kind of put that together to help people sort of sort local businesses, compare them side by side. You can see businesses' ratings and what people are saying about them. You can link out to their websites right from that map. So that's another aspect of Google. And then last but not least, are the actual websites that populate in the Google index. And getting your website to rank high could be of value to you. I think it really depends on the type of business that you have. If you are, I can't remember your name, I apologize, but there was somebody that said that they have a business called Icebreakers, where they help businesses with prospecting. I think that there will be no local services map available for a business like that, unfortunately, because it's not as mainstream as, let's say, plumbing. But if companies are searching for outsourced sales solutions or something along those lines, getting your website to rank high for those sort of search terms, I think it could be really valuable for you, and maybe even some ads could be valuable as well. But that's kind of the landscape of Google, and really the type of business that you are, I think, dictates where you would like to focus on this Google map. And then each platform is going to kind of be broken down differently. I'd be more than happy to discuss other platforms with anybody off this call if you would if you have more questions. So I think the first question is, based on what we do and the services or the products that we sell, where do we kind of fit into, where would we like to show up? If you're a plumber, maybe showing up in this little local services map, at a very high ranking might be of value to you. Whereas if you have a website where you sell umbrellas online, and you're the depot of umbrellas, and every umbrella on that could possibly be found in the world you sell on your website, it might be of more value to you to show up here because there's probably not a local map associated with umbrellas. And if somebody's looking to buy an umbrella, it could be more value for your website to show up here. Or it might be valuable to maybe buy some ad space if you're trying to advertise to people that are looking to buy umbrellas, so to speak. So I just wanted to kind of paint the picture before we dive into the advertising portion of things. So what we're going to talk about today are Google ads, and again, these concepts kind of are uniform across multiple advertising platforms. So if I break it down, I believe that digital advertising comes down to a couple different things. I think a lot of people focus mainly on content and copywriting and what their ad actually says. And I know that that's sort of where people's minds automatically go when they think of advertising. And I'll argue that I believe that is really the last piece of the puzzle. And you might think I'm crazy, but I think that there are a lot of people out there that are too focused on what they're saying and the content of their ads, and they're losing money, left and right, and they don't even realize it. And they're spending money on ads. They're getting their phone to ring, or they're driving people to their website. They're selling product as a result of the ads. But I think a lot of times that, the difference between revenue and profit is something that really needs to be considered. And really our first step in terms of working with our clients that are spending ads is putting together a solid financial strategy. And really what that comes down to, in my opinion, without, kind of getting too crazy, is, figuring out the products or the services that you'd like to target. I think that it's not feasible to target every product or service that you might offer. I could use an auto repair shop as an example. An average oil change might be $60, let's say, and after the cost of the oil and labor and everything, let's say the auto repair shop is earning a 30% profit on that oil change, so they're making $18 in profit off that oil change. In my opinion, at least right now in the digital advertising climate, it's going to be very hard to be profitable if the only thing that you're advertising is oil changes. In my opinion, your cost to actually get a customer to call you and come in to do an oil change is going to be a lot more than $18. And I think that's where a lot of people are screwing up, where they're advertising oil changes, the phone is ringing for oil changes, they're doing oil changes, yet they're spending $10,000 to get $10,000 back in oil changes, but on the $10,000 in revenue that they're making back on oil changes at a 30% profit margin, they're only making $3,000. So they think that they're making money, and they're getting more oil. They're doing a lot more oil changes this month after we started advertising than we were last month. But the problem is we're spending $10,000 in Google ads to make $3,000. We just lost $7,000 and we didn't even realize it. And you might not realize it until the end of the year unless you have a really good accountant, or you have somebody that's really looking at the managerial aspects of your financials on a month-to-month basis. It could be hard to catch, especially when you're running a bigger business. So I really believe in coming up with a financial strategy that makes sense. And I won't bore you with a bunch of marketing terms, but really what it is focusing on the products and the services that have profit margins that you like and that you'd like to increase. The sales on those certain products or services. You must know what your gross margins are and what your net margins are, and you have to kind of have an idea where, okay, every time we sell an umbrella, we sell it for we sell an umbrella for $100, and I think that's probably an expensive umbrella, but I'll use that as an example. We sell the umbrella for $100 and we make 50. So we need to our cost to get a customer to call us and come to our website and buy an umbrella has to be below $50. We need to know those numbers. That's the first piece of the equation, is really knowing those numbers so that we have some sort of target.
Hey, Sam.
Yep.
If you don't mind me jumping in, I guess if we look at from a Shark Tank perspective, they use the term customer acquisition cost.
They do. Yeah.
But can we? I don't know if this is part of your presentation, but if you go back to when you talked about ads, and I'm just throwing this up because I know we have two young ladies, maybe more, I'm not sure who else joined, that are in the insurance industry. My question is, when you do the ads for that, can it be really specific rather than if they work for the same, for people that either work for the same company or different companies, can they make it to the point whereby they have their name specific when it comes to the Google ads?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's actually the way that it does work. So with Google ads, you can get really granular. You can target people that are only typing in certain things into Google. Although that's not really recommended. I'm going to talk a little bit about that soon. But yeah, you can have these ads say whatever you'd like. You know, have your company name. You can even advertise, you know, for an individual agent, you know, and say, you know, call Bob today, you know, from ABC Insurance Agency. You can do all that sort of stuff with Google Ads and get very granular. The nice thing about Google is they have everyone's data, and you know, I know there's a lot of controversy on that nowadays. It's a great thing if you're an advertiser because you can really get granular in terms of the types of people that you'd like to target and the search terms that they're actually typing into Google. So we can get really specific with that. Does that answer your question, Dr. Gray?
That was a great question. I appreciate it also. Just wanted to say.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm actually going to talk about that next here. I should have put these in different order. This is actually comes last. We'll talk about this last. The next piece of the puzzle after we kind of put a financial strategy together in terms of, okay, what's the budget? You know, what is our customer acquisition cost that we're targeting in our financial strategy so that we're making money, you know, with our ads. The next piece of the puzzle is setting up some sort of we like to call it an A/B data testing strategy. And really all that means is what we want to do is we want to test different ideas, different concepts, different variables against each other. So at minimum, we like to have 2 different campaigns running side by side. I just set one up actually today, this morning before our call for a water restoration company. And the way that we did it is we set up 2 different campaigns. Both campaigns have the identical search terms or keywords. So keyword is really just what people are typing into Google to find your business or find your ad. So we have 2 different groups of keywords, and we might have 50 or 60 keywords total in both of these groups. And the keywords are identical. They're the exact same keywords in both campaigns. What we decided to do is we decided to test 2 different concepts. And when I say concept, basically, you know, the one concept is a value concept where the company is offering some sort of discount or some sort of coupon or some sort of, you know, dollars off. Whereas the other concept that we're testing is what we call more of a value concept, where we're displaying the credentials of the company. We're mentioning, you know, testimonials from customers actually in the ad copy. So those are the 2 different concepts that we're testing side by side. We have the exact same keywords, and we'll probably run this for about a month, where Google will give us enough data back to show us what concept is performing the best. So that's sort of the first variable that we like to test are the broad concepts. The second, then what we'll do is let's say, for example, that the discount concept is outperforming the value concept. Let's say it's outperforming the value concept by 3 to 1. What we'll then do is we'll reallocate, you know, right now we have an equal budget for both campaigns. We'll reallocate the budget from the lesser performing campaign to the higher performing campaign that's getting a better return. We'll still leave some budget over here and keep it going just in case we're wrong. But now we have more budget, you know, here on the concept campaign, and our next strategy would be then to separate keywords into different groups. So this particular company performs 3 different main services. So all 50 or 60 keywords that we have in the group, they all in some way, shape, or form talk about those 3 main services. So our next step, probably next month, will be we will separate 3 different keyword groups based on those services under the discount concept. And now we're testing those groups of keywords, and we're going to see which keywords are performing, you know, versus the other ones. Then we'll reallocate budget to the top, you know, performing keyword group and kind of keep getting more granular as we go. The last piece of the puzzle that we really like to test, believe it or not, is the actual copy, you know, what we're actually saying in the ads. You know, we know it's important to have good copy, and we're not saying that that's not a good idea. But we feel that a lot of people kind of kind of think that, the reason people are clicking on ads and the reason they're doing this is because it all has to do with what you're saying. And while that is, there is some importance there, and I'm not, downplaying that at all. We're not necessarily testing that from the beginning. We like to test one variable at a time. So when we're throwing a bunch of mud against the wall, we know why it's actually sticking. And then we go a little bit more granular and a little bit more granular. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle that we like to test is the actual ad copy. And we try, a couple different types of copy within, now we're narrowed down in the set of keywords, and we're trying different copy around those keywords. And really what that allows us to do is it allows us to bring the customer's cost down over time. So they're, we're able to get into that target, customer acquisition cost that we planned in the financial strategy. And it also allows us to really hone in and allocate our money and our budget on the things that are actually performing and actually getting a return. And our whole strategy with this, when we're first starting out with a digital advertising client, is we don't need them to spend an arm and a leg on advertising. In fact, we just ask them to just spend enough money so that we can do some testing. And we tell them, look, the phone will ring, or people will visit your website. You will convert sales as a result. It's not that we're saying that, we just want you to throw money out the window, but we start with a small budget so that we can do all of this different testing, and so that we can really hone in on this original financial strategy and come down to the right acquisition cost. And then once we get there, then it's just how much money do you want to pour on the fire? So if one of our clients, for example, is making an average of $150 of profit on, a certain service that they're selling, and we're able to get their acquisition costs down to $35 or let's say $75, just so I can do the math in my head. Now in essence, every dollar that they spend in advertising, they're making $2 back for their pocket, in profit. So they're making 100% return on their investment. And really the financial aspect of this, we believe, is what drives a good, marketing and advertising strategy. We think that there's a lot of marketing companies out there that are kind of lost in the clouds with all their great marketing ideas. And our philosophy is that it's not a good idea unless it actually makes money. I had a friend a long time that owned a bunch of restaurants, and he told me, I have the greatest marketing idea in the world. My restaurants will be packed. I'll give the food away for free. But I'd be out of business in a month. So that's kind of the idea behind all of this. I won't talk anymore. I know I've probably gone over my time.
No problem, Sam.
That's the high level and how it works. So I appreciate you inviting me on, and appreciate everybody listening to me.
Thank you so much, Sam. If you can unshare, look here, everybody, we got about 7 minutes. So anybody have any questions real quick? We got about 7 minutes. So if you have any questions, kind of make it straight to the point.
I have a quick question. What would you say is a good realistic starting budget for someone like me that wants to venture into this strategy of marketing?
Yeah, I think it depends on the platform. Different platforms are going to have different costs. Like if you're looking at like Facebook versus Google, on a Google ad strategy, I tell people that the minimum budget should be somewhere around $40 a day, in my opinion, to kind of get started, so that you have, your phone will ring, and then that'll give you enough data, to kind of do all the testing that I talked about.
And do you pay for that on a daily basis, or you pay for that on a weekly basis or a monthly basis?
The way it works is with Google, you set up a daily budget with Google. So let's say you put it at $40 a day, and then I believe they bill you. It might change. I'm not sure exactly how they determine, but like with us, for our clients, every time it reaches $500, your total cost, they bill you, for like $500 at a time.
Perfect. Excellent
I have
question.
a question.
Okay,
Thank
go ahead,
you.
Twan.
Thank you, Sam. Excellent presentation. I always like to look at marketing. I love how you talked about I'm saying on that AB, I know that testing keyword, that's more like, is it more like you're measuring, it's a way for you to kind of measure? Because you said it's the keyword, so are we measuring our results in some form or fashion? Or are you trying to see which one is the
Yeah,
best?
yeah, basically what that is, you know, there's a couple different variables, you know, when you're doing advertising. So you have the actual, I'd say like the concept of your ad, you know, the type of ad, are you offering a discount? Are you going to promote the value of your business? You know, there's a couple different, let's say, concepts. So that's one variable. With Google, the keywords are another variable, you know, that you're typing, you know, the keywords are what people are typing into Google to find you. So that's another variable. Another variable will be your actual ad copy. So what you're actually saying in the ad. So what we try to do is you really want to just test one, keep everything the same and kind of just test one variable at a time. So that way you can see what, you know, where you're getting the return and you know why you're getting that return. So, you know, if you had
Okay.
two different campaigns and you had different keywords and different concepts, and one campaign is outperforming the other, you don't really know why, you know,
Right.
it is, right? So that's why we talked about just kind of testing one variable at a time and kind of going from like the top down, from a very broad perspective down and getting more granular over time.
So the reason why I asked that is because I just wanted to find out if we're gonna do I believe that the financial strategy is important, but you don't know which one of these A or B go, you know, how it's gonna go. So you don't know how much you're going to need. So what is a formula that we should be looking at when we're putting our financial strategy together? I know you said the $40 ad day, but I mean, literally we have to look at what our potential profit would be. So what's the formula we should be looking at?
Yeah, so I think it really starts with, you know, figuring out what service or product, you know, you're looking to promote, and what your profit margins are, you know, on that service or product. And then really just determining, you know, kind of reverse engineering you know, the strategy. So, you know, if you're making an average of $100 in profit, you know, on a certain service, and you know, you'd like your customer acquisition cost to be 50% of that, you know, at $50, and then kind of, you know, reverse engineering, you know, how you come to that $50, if that makes sense. So,
Makes
you know,
sense.
with Google, for
Thank you.
example, there's a couple different bidding strategies, but one would be that you pay every time somebody clicks on an ad. So, you know, kind of determining, okay, how many people do we think we can convert to spend $50 to acquire a customer? You know,
Hey,
based on how
Sam.
many people are clicking.
Thank you.
Hey, Sam, quick question. I know we're almost out of time, but I know the keywords are very important. Is there a tool that you use to determine the keywords?
Yes, we use a tool called SEM Rush. It's SES, like as in search, E as in elephant, M as in Mary, rush.com. We use that tool to do keyword research based on a certain business, so that we know, you know, what we're talking. We can see how many people are typing that into Google on a monthly basis. You know, the average cost for those keywords to advertise, you know. So we kind of come up with a strategy using that tool.
Thank you.
Perfect,
Yep.
perfect. Thank you. Any other questions? Because we got about 2 minutes left, a little bit less than 2 minutes. Anybody have any questions?
How do we contact Sam?
You can contact me. How about I put my phone number on the screen? It's 610-897-0007, and you can contact me at extension 2. And my email is sam@schwiego.com.
Perfect way to put it up there, Sam. Remember, I want a certain percent of all new business. But I thank you so much. Any other, real quick, Miss Smith, tell us who you are, and give us 8 seconds.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I'm Tawanya Smith with Right Choice Motors, a used car dealership in Covington, Georgia. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your schedule this morning to join us. Thank you so much. I hope you got a lot of information out of it. Thank you, Brenda, for the connection. Sam, you and I will definitely be talking again. Like I said, remember everybody, this will be uploaded to YouTube later on, and I'll be sending out the email later on. Sam, you got anything you want to say for like the last 20 seconds?
No, I just really appreciate everybody's time and thanks for listening to me. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much.
Oh, no, not at all. We all learned some information. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great day. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to give me a call. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sam. Thank you, Sinclair.
Thank you.
Bye.